Okay guys, listen up. Okay guys, this is not going to be a pleasant video. We need to talk about the epidemic that plagues first world countries like Canada and the US right now. And that epidemic is the inability to comprehend basic math. And most people, especially on social media right now, don't understand that bigger number equals better. This is very, very, very apparent in the Bitcoin space right now, specifically in the covered call community surrounding strategy, ticker MSTY, the Yield Max Strategy Covered Call Fund. So for those of you unaware, MSTR is a Bitcoin treasury company. So long story short, it's a leveraged Bitcoin play. When Bitcoin goes up, MSTR goes up more. When Bitcoin goes down, MSTR goes down more. Very simple premise. And what MSTY does is it sells covered calls on MSTR and pays out its shareholders a weekly dividend. Now, MSTY gained a lot of traction, as every other famous stock does, at the very top of its parabolic move, which happened at the end of last year in 2024. Now, since then, Bitcoin, strategy, and Yield Max's strategy covered call fund, MSTY, have been absolutely hammered down. But what people like this don't understand, or are just being completely disingenuous rage baiters, is that dividends paid out matters. Almost every single person fudding MSTY right now and calling it an outright scam do not understand basic total return math. If you plug in Bitcoin, strategy, and Yield Max's strategy covered call fund MSTY into a simple total return calculator, as you can see, wow, surprise, surprise, MSTY is not a scam. It actually has outperformed strategy, its underlying stock, in the last 6 months during this brutal pullback. And MSTY has outperformed Bitcoin in total return since inception. Now don't get me wrong, myself and many others understand that MSTY and almost all other covered call funds out there typically underperform their underlying stocks over a longer time horizon. And that is true of MSTY and MSTR as well. But to call MSTY a scam is just room temperature IQ level discussion and can be disproven with a simple total return calculator like this one here. Now, with this very basic fundamental math, if you are calling MSTY a scam, but you are promoting owning MSTR, which many of these people have, and how great of a stock it is, or saying Bitcoin is the greatest investment ever, but turning around and saying MSTY is garbage, you do not understand basic math. Or like I said before, are just being a disingenuous rage baiter for clicks. As you can see here, MSTY and MSTR both outperform Bitcoin since inception of MSTY, even after this massive 50 to 60% pullback in MSTR. And to add insult to injury to the FUDsters, or as the legend British HODL likes to call them, the $1,000 net worthers, MSTY is actually outperforming MSTR, its underlying stock, in the last 6-month pullback, dividends reinvested. The point of this video isn't to shame these people because they got fudded out of their MSTY positions at minus 50% at the very bottom, and for top ticking their purchases of MSTY at the pico top of MSTR's explosive move at the end of 2024. No, it's to tell you to stop taking every opinion on social media as fact, because as you can see, none of the FUD has any basis in reality. Majority of the FUD comes from people looking at the stock price of MSTY and saying, oh my god, look, it's down 70%, what a scam, without even thinking about including dividends in the overall picture. Again, a very simple dispute to disprove. If you bought MSTY from inception of the fund almost 2 years ago, your $10,000 theoretical initial investment has doubled, even with the stock price down 80 to 90% from all-time highs. MSTY has paid out over $44 a share in dividends since inception, and people will still just look at the stock price on Yahoo Finance or on Robinhood and say, wow, what a terrible investment, the stock price is going down. Again, don't believe all the FUD out there. MSTY is a perfectly fine investment vehicle. It gives up some of the upside in MSTR's stock growth for the benefit of automating weekly and monthly income. Over the long term, MSTY is not a superior vehicle to MSTR. I'm not trying to say it is. I'm just saying that most people do zero work to even determine whether something is a good investment or not. They just read a post on social media from some rage baiter who also did zero work other than screenshotting a share price graph and pointing to it and going, look how bad of an investment it is. And you all take it at face value and retweet. If you don't like covered call funds and that's why you're trashing MSTY, then just say so. Don't go about saying it's an objectively terrible product when it outperforms Bitcoin itself. Just say you don't like covered call funds because that's totally okay. Everyone is entitled to their own portfolio allocations. I'm not trying to say you're dumb if you don't like covered call funds. I'm just saying stop being disingenuous. Now, please go visit British Hodl's YouTube channel and watch his most recent video. I'll tag it down below in the description for you because he talks about this exact scenario, except with MSTR specifically. And his explanation is from a perspective of being in the space for a very long time. So don't miss that video. And please stop listening to these people online who can't process very basic math or at least investigate the products before saying something stupid online like MSTY is a horrible investment. Yeah, no matter what stock you buy, when you're buying it at the top of its parabolic phase, it will turn out to be a horrible investment. But that's not an MSTY or an MSTR problem. That's a you problem. So just learn to invest better. Now, if you have stuck around this long, go ahead and catch another one of my videos right over here. Or check out my channel over here where you can take a look at all the other content I have to offer about investing and my personal investing journey. And that's all for me today. I'm Patrick with Apex Wealth Collective. Take care, and I'll hopefully see you guys in a better next video.